Now, the White House has seen yet another shakeup. President Donald Trump has replaced his national security advisor, H.R. McMaster, with John Bolton. Bolton is the former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations and is known for his hawkish views. His appointment came on the same day that Trump's lawyer, John Dowd, resigned. Dowd was the lead lawyer against special counsel Robert Mueller. Joining us now is Bloomberg's Jodi Schneider, and she is in Hong Kong. Jodi, what are the potential implications of the most recent White House shakeup?
Well, it seems that the president is replacing the foreign policy moderates in his administration with people with much more hawkish views like John Bolton. Former Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, who he fired just a week ago, and now Mr. McMaster, the national security advisor, were seen to have a more moderate stance on some of these foreign policy issues, sometimes at odds with the president. It seems now he wants loyalty and he wants his views, which tend to be more right-wing, on foreign policy to be followed. Mr. Bolton is famously a hawk. He was very much in favor of the invasion of Iraq in 2003, and both at the UN and comments he's made more recently, he has been very hawkish. He said, for instance, that he thinks the Iran nuclear agreement was a strategic debacle, and had said fairly recently that he thought it would not be wrong for the U.S. necessarily to fire first with North Korea.
And Jodi, of course, we remember John Bolton from the Bush administration. Now, the U.S. Senate, in other Washington news, the U.S. Senate has again narrowly averted a government shutdown. How did they do that?
Yeah, well, they passed a $1.3 trillion spending bill, which will actually fund the government through September 30th, through the end of the U.S. fiscal year. It was not without some hiccups. They had some very late-night bargaining sessions this week and really had to work through it. But this does fund military and domestic priorities through the fiscal year. The Senate passed it after the House had. The president says he'll sign it. So yet again, a government shutdown was averted, but just a day or so before funding would have run out yet again.